All right, whether it is global warming, trade wars, or the proliferation of artificial intelligence, the world is a unique place as we head into the new decade. So what can we expect in the 2020s? Joining us with his predictions is futurist Nicholas Babington. Good to have you here.
Hi.
You say, as we look into this next decade and into the future, there are already signs that profitability for products like oil are coming to an end. Listen, this is serious stuff in a country where an entire, most of an entire province depends on the oil and gas industry. You're saying that this is on the decline and all the signs are pointing in that direction.
Yeah, absolutely. There's this shift towards renewable energy in the world. And I was in Alberta yesterday, and there's a number of projects in Alberta around geothermal, around renewable energy sources like wind, like solar, that are really starting to ramp up. And that's really going to be good for the economy of Alberta and Canada as a whole. Now, in the next 10 years, there's going to be a huge transition towards renewable energy. The pressure is going to come from government, but more importantly, it's already coming from banking. Mark Carney, the governor of the Bank of England, says that companies that still operate with fossil fuels in the next 5 to 10 years are likely to go bankrupt. We've also got 130 plus banks that control $47 trillion worth of assets in the world. The investment of assets into fossil fuel companies and companies that are in industry take on UN principles to get people into sustainable renewable energy as well.
All right, let's move on to geoengineering. You're saying this is going to ramp up in 2020. For those of us who aren't futurists, what is geoengineering? How does it work? And why is this something that we're developing more of?
So the planet is going to get warmer. The UN just came out to say it's going to be 3.9 degrees centigrade warmer by 2100, and we're way off target of what we need to be. So geoengineering is the idea that we can cool down the planet, take CO2 out of the atmosphere. There's some companies, there's one company out in Squamish called Carbon Engineering, takes CO2 from the atmosphere and creates clean burning fuel. There are researchers in Harvard thinking about putting aerosols into the atmosphere to really bring that temperature down. It's incredibly controversial and no one really knows if it's going to work on scale.
It's a big experiment.
It's a big experiment, but it's really interesting to see some of these creative, experimental, new applications of science.
Your last prediction is the emergence of a trillion sensor society. What is that, and how will it shape our future?
So everyone's got smartphones, and we've got a dozen or so sensors in those smartphones. There's going to be 6 billion smartphones in the world in the next year or so. And then we've also got sensors in the roads, in the cities, in our offices, in industry, self-driving cars. And we're going to be surrounded by everything that's harvesting the data from our lives. Data is going to grow to about 163 zettabytes of data by 2025. That's like a billion high-definition movies. And data is going to be flying around. What does this mean? Well, we're going to kind of be in a strange chamber of corporate surveillance in a way. So we have to work out how ethically we operate as humans in there. And businesses really need to give us control back of our data.
We need to demand some of that control back of our data, too.
Absolutely, we do.
Nicholas Babington, it is always both interesting and a little frightening talking to you as we look into this next decade. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to subscribe here.
And you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.